action, personnel, and cultural control. KPKNL Sorong Case Study. The Ministry of Finance has 11 institutes under it, which have their certain duties and functions. One of them is the Directorate General of State Assets, or DJKN, which has vertical workplaces all through Indonesia. In terms of providing services related to state assets, asset valuation, valuation of work unit receivables, or SATKER, and auction services. One of these vertical offices is the Sorong State Assets and Auction Service Office, or KPKNL, precisely located in Sorong City, West Papua. In carrying out management control within its organization, KPKNL Sorong applies several types of control. The implementation of the control system includes action, personal, and cultural controls. In implementing this type of control, there are sort of control that have been implemented centrally in agreement with the policies of Directorate General of State Assets, or DJKN, as the agency in the Ministry of Finance in charge of the Office of State Asset and Auction Services, or KPKNL. In addition, there are other controls that are particularly applied at the KPKNL Sorong, which agrees with the cultural values of the Sorong KPKNL office. By the purpose of the control carried out, doesn't conflict with the values and norms of the local community.
Next is action control. Management control for the action control section carried out at the KPKNL Sorong unit consists of: first, behavioral control; second, pre-auction reviews; third, action accountability; and fourth is the redundancy. Okay, for now let's talk about the behavioral control. The KPKNL Sorong has confined access to a few rooms such as the AK Distribution Center, Server Room, Treasure Room, and Information Stock Room, as well as limitation on the use of office hardware. If there are representatives who will utilize it, or their consent must be given to the representative. The party dependable also has the right to acknowledge or dismiss requests. Next is pre-auction reviews. During most of the exercise, the KPKNL Sorong does an examination and a point-by-point survey of the examination. The review is carried out in accordance with the scope of the work to be carried out. On the off chance that the work covers, as it were, one area, a point-by-point examination will be carried out in detail and altogether in that area. As an illustration, the average assessment of state property, or BMN, within the KPKNL Sorong working range is being looked at. Next, we talk about action accountability. In the applications of this strategy, one of the applications is to report each assignment that requires official travel, carry out by each representative by entering the report components within the frame of the goal, the work done, and the coming about of yield, and connecting a shape of responsibility for the use of resources. Last is redundancy. Assigning a resources valuation to an examination group. After the appraisal is discharged, a peer survey is conducted with each worker to talk about the appraisal that was recently decided.
Personnel control. KPKNL Sorong is mapping the composition of workers based on the scholastic level, the sort of preparing that has been gone to, and the employee working one in certain areas. The worker composition outline is utilized to allow representative occupation to coordinate their abilities, information, and individual preferences. In expansion to this, KPKNL Sorong moreover decides faculty control utilizing the preparing and observing strategy. Cultural control. KPKNL Sorong actualize it through One Day One Data, or ODOI. These exercises are carried out each day. Sometimes recently work starts to screen the work that has been done the past day, the work to be done nowadays, and to plan for the work to come. Aside from that, the ODOI action is additionally a way to conversation, almost work, and share ideas. During this time, we'll inquire the head of the office for coordinate informational or coordinate talks. Another thing that control this sort of culture is by giving Friday talks, where the occasion is held each Friday each week. The event's points of dialogue include the subject of occasions that occur amid the work week. The occurrence can be within the frame of a mistake or an appreciation for the representative working for 1 week. In case in their work, it is known that there are blunders made by employees, both in terms of specialized mistakes and blunders in terms of infringement. It will be talked about the event.
Case study: Witzke Associates. Braden McLaughlin is a young fellow at Witzke and Associates Incorporation, a management consulting firm that helps small businesses and families with a variety of issues, including strategy, operations, logistics, and corporate governance. Braden was assigned to perform time and motion studies at an office supply warehouse and distribution center located in Riverside, California. Management needs accurate cost data to be able to negotiate favorable contract terms in the coming year. It is expected that Braden should be on site for approximately 30 hours at various times since the center operates 24/7 days to observe the exact mix of activities in sufficient detail. Then, Braden had to prepare and submit his report. Since Braden is also working on other projects, the due date for his report is the end of June. Braden reported to Pete Mahlendorf, Witzke's managing partner and lead consultant at work, that he visited warehouses and distribution centers on several days in June.
He submitted his report on time and within budget. But they got a call from Jeremiah Jones as operation manager at the Riverside Distribution Center. But they will send the report right away, but Jeremiah was surprised that the report had been completed. He told Pate that, as far as I know, Braden only visited the warehouse once, and that was for a quite brief time. How could he have finished this report? Maybe he was here when it was out, but I have not heard other mention his presence either. But then Priscilla checked Braden's cell phone location tracking data, and they found it. Indeed, that Braden had only been near Riverside once in June. But they called Braden into his office and asked him to explain. Braden immediately broke down in tears. He explained that because of some personal problems, he was way behind in his work. To try to cope, he took the shortcut of creating a report based mostly on data he had found on the internet. He admitted that he had not spent the necessary time at the Riverside warehouse and distribution center.